Hi everyone, Andragon with you. Happy Orthodox Easter to you. And personally for me, we have double holiday today. So the second one is we promoted to the Golden League for the first time. I thought it needs to take some more time, but thanks to Manuela, her help, her advice, and obviously thanks to Dirtyduzen, who was a huge defender, we managed to go there, and that's the message which congratulates us and warns that now we need 20 champions instead of 15. So I would like to show you what exactly changed at the map of Guild War and actually why the league which is at defense has better position. So the opponent has 20 champions, we had 15, they could choose more options, who exactly can attack, who is better at defense. So you see that I need to assign 5 more champions at least. So let me do it for my champions according to their power. I'll just put everybody who are strong enough. So the first 20 champions. Then we have those who can actually do something, they can fight, yes, but I'm not sure if that's optimal to use their power now, because actually I'm not sure that they can fight at gold. So maybe we'll need some things fixed later on, but now I'd like my top 20 champions to be in game. For example, for defense, right? Okay. So as for the defense, now every location got one more part where I need to assign somebody. As you can see, my champions are not super strong, the ones who I just added, but the idea is kind of simple. So the more important location I have, the harder to remove champion I will place there. So as for heroes, obviously I'll get Celine at the Citadel probably, or Juan at the Citadel, because they are very complicated at defense for silver leagues. I don't think that for golden, but for silver they were nice. And the same I'll do for the locations. So the locations which are near the Citadel will get tough defenders if possible. If someone is already there with max power, I'll just add someone low. If someone is not, then I'll just add someone with high power, right? That's the idea. And for the bridge, obviously, I need to choose the force at the power. Obviously, that, let me see, but I think it's Dirtyduzen or Highlander. So I can do same with Claudia. Let me just place Claudia there, because I think we have an option where it's worth trying. Okay, so now our bridge is properly defended. Every other location also has several champions to protect that location, and I think that's kind of balanced. So first of all, when you fight with gold, you need more champions in more positions. Don't forget to set them. Another thing, when you fight gold versus silver, you need to know which champions should attack. So you have both 15 champions, 30 tries, in fact, but you can assign your defenses. So what next? I wanted to show you exactly what happened on Saturday and why we became golden. So that's our fight with Lone Wolf. In fact, everything was like about Citadel. So if they managed to finish Citadel, they would win this fight. And they didn't do it. So actually we had some problems, but anyway, let's first of all tell about the heroes of the day. The first hero of the day is Pierre. So Pierre fought at the bridge against Candice. Candice used Earth Team, but actually you see that her totem is much worse. So I think that's a reasonable decision, but just the amount of power is not enough here. I'll make it quick to show you the first fight. I'll probably skip the second one, because Pierre lost Nova, which means he will not be able to activate Totem as often. And that's what happened. So the first hero of the day was Pierre. Another hero of the day was Juan. So he managed to win an even fight, I would say. But check this out. So he swapped his main tank. In the past, if I remember correctly, he played Astaroth just like me. Then he noticed that against several teams, Aurora is more effective. So she can dodge all the team, she can absorb magic damage. So he swapped his front line into Aurora, and I would say that she kind of works there nicely. So his team is both about debuffs, magical damage, and Yasmine as physical damage, and Kane against physical damage. So it's a team which kind of absorbs the opponent. Let's see the fight, let's see how it went, and why he made it so nicely. So obviously the first thing which should happen is Yasmine on Hellios, and here we go. Yes, Yasmine is no more, as usual. And then we just have mages against Aurora, and let's see what happens. So Aurora is still alive. At the same time, Jorgen slowly charges. Martha heals nicely. And yes, the opponent plays Sebastian, so he will not get the energy block. At the same time, his Sebastian is not super strong, so he is vulnerable to the damage. As a result, we have Dorian, which is already dead, but still his vampiric aura is there. And then we have just Aurora. I'm not sure how he will finish Aurora, because we have healing from Martha. Aurora can absorb part and throw back part of magic damage, so just Aurora survives and that's it. I think that Ganesh can't go through Aurora. So the second hero of the day is Juan with his team of mages plus Aurora. Then we had several defeats. I will not show you everything. So then Nick just told, okay, I'm tired of this. I'll remove him personally. And that's a nice Kark pack actually. So yes, that's an attack Kark party, which I'm not sure why he uses Oliver here. We don't have any physical damage except of basic attacks. Maybe for healing, I'm not sure about that. But anyway, that's a nice Kark pack, and Faceless can copy Kark to make it even more effective. And then what happened is they tried to capture our citadel, and you see that Dirtyduzen managed to survive long enough against relatively strong opponents. So the first one was Craig, the same Craig which managed to remove my own team, although I had more power, although I tried to just set the patronage properly so that he wouldn't remove me. But let's see what happened against Dirtyduzen. So I will show you only the nice. So here we have typical Dirtyduzen scenario when he gets some damage, maybe someone dies, but then we have Arachne, who deals a huge amount of debuffs and stuns together with Jorgen, who blocks the part of energy. The enemy team just is stunned, debuffed, blocked all the time. At the same time, his own team tries to heal back. Maya is the top damage dealer here. With some help from Celeste, I mean magic attack bonus, she is able to do a huge amount of damage with her roots. At the same time, check this out. So the left team has slightly more time for attack, but obviously it's not enough. So no more Faceless. It means Kark should remove everything on his own. And actually Kark is not happy to fight with magical damage. Here we go, so Kark is no more, and actually that's what happens at Dirtyduzen's team. First he gets some damage, then he heals back, then Maya's roots just throw everybody apart. And you see that Maya with Albus can be your damage dealer. Actually. Also Biscuit helps a lot. If the opponent tries to heal back, then Biscuit blocks healing except of self-healing. And he says that that's one of the most important parts. Second try was with Ganesh. Ganesh played a super Kira this time, but one more time. So you need to out-damage Dirtyduzen. If you don't have a burst damage, then you can be too slow. At the same time, you see that Maya is already ready. Also, Arachne is almost ready. The opponent play Sebastian too, but his Sebastian is too weak. So the problem is he can't survive some damage. Actually, playing Sebastian is really a nice idea. I do kind of same thing, but if you don't heal Sebastian properly, if you don't protect him, then he just dies too fast. So, same thing. Once again, he tries to out-damage Dirtyduzen, he fails, then gets a huge amount of damage. And Astaroth is still here, almost dead, but it's still here, and that's the second result. Third one was Tom. So Tom tried to play Orion, Hellios, Celeste, Jorgen, Astaroth. This time he didn't have Sebastian, but he had his own Jorgen. That's why he tried to debuff himself. And actually, I'm not sure if he had damage, because remember that we have some special things from the right team, not only healing, but we also have magic penetration, magic defense from Maya, which is serious, and obviously magic attack, right? So that's how the fight went. He managed to remove Astaroth, but at the same time he didn't finish this fight. And the last two fights against Dirtyduzen, you see this crazy thing, so +0. Let me show you the fight. So Yasmine Kira team with Jorgen and Marsa, and the second time was Kark, Yasmine, Astaroth. So let's check both fights, I'll show you them. So the problem here is if you let Maya get her flower and let somebody heal Maya, or just use it as Jorgen's shield, which is pretty nice, then the opponent may not have enough damage to go through these defenses. And as a result, Dirtyduzen's team just healed instead of getting extra damage. So Jorgen can help you not just with shielding your team, not just with blocking the energy, you see that was just crazy for the opponent, but also Jorgen redirects all the damage into one target. And I understand that Marsa is a good backline defender, but still when you play Maya plus Jorgen, it means all the roots go straight into the backline. You can partially remove that with your Axel, but that's not the complete thing. So that's about our defense. So that's the heroes of this fight. Dirtyduzen obviously is the main hero here. Also Pierre and Juan did a nice job at defenses. Now let me talk about attack. So at attack I will not show you everything, but maybe highlight some fights where I'm not sure if we made a mistake, but probably we had some problems. And also I'll show you several fights where we made progress even though we had less power. So let's start from my attack on Big Rope. You see that he plays an Earth team this time, so you remember him for having 820,000 power for his water team and absolute star water totem. Now he played Earth, so he probably knew that I planned to fight him personally and he was prepared for that, and I just underestimated the potential of his totem. So the first team was not optimal, I would say. My idea was to use Sigurd's immunity to absorb more percentage and to abuse my own totem, but that was not what I needed to do. What's the problem? So if you let Angus hit your team hard, and if you don't have enough damage to remove him or stun him at least, then you will get a huge problem here. So you see, I really tried to collect some more percentage because my totem is not effective. And I wanted the percentage to compensate that. So I activated at almost 180%, 182. I hope that it will help me to survive, it will help me to go through this totem, and you see that that didn't work actually. Then I switched to my original idea. So the original idea was to use my Arachne plus Moloch. So Moloch is a super fire tank. He has a huge amount of elemental defense because I'm a dungeon player and I used tanks, all the tanks, to help me at the dungeon. As a result, you see that this fight was much more effective. Let me show you exactly why it happened. So the idea is pretty simple. You need to use stuns to avoid getting super damage into your team. At the same time, I would like to highlight the fact that we don't have super effective damage from the opponent into my tank. So only one character is effective. When I played Sigurd, yes, Sigurd is much more powerful than Moloch, but remember that we have 3 characters who are able to deal effective damage to Sigurd. That's why even though my team is not as powerful, even though my totem will be activated not as frequently, you see it already, but anyway we have effective damage, nice stun, and as a result I was able to remove the front line. So what we had to do then about Big Rob is just send one more player to finish that off. I sent just my finisher, that was Lord of Cats. Let me show you that. So we had Juan and Lord of Cats who finished Big Rob and Notorious ROB. So what about ROB? So Manuela wanted to play water versus water, and water plus Eden is exactly the same team which I use. But the problem was the dig. So the dig sometimes decides the winner. If someone goes wrong. I'll just show you this fight real quick. So she hoped that the totem should help her to win this fight. The problem is she has only one effective character against the opponent's team. Also, my original order was to attack with Claudio with 4 stars, so it wouldn't be a fair fight in case of totems because the opponent has 5-star totem. But anyway, both options were kind of nice. She chose this one. Okay, so this damage was nice. What about third position at the bridge? That was for Pierre. You see this huge difference in power, but the problem is Pierre has much better totem first of all, and the second thing, he plays water plus Arachne, so to boost effective damage against enemy's fire. That's exactly what we need, and Pierre just kicks this location 3 weeks in a row with no problem, even though he has less power but better totem. The idea is really simple. So when you see this front line of fire, you need to do effective damage, water versus fire, and that's exactly what happens here. I remember that some of you said, well, but fire plus Hyperion can remove water plus Arachne. Yes, maybe, but at my team, at my position, this thing works nicely, so why not use it? Then we had to finish the bridge, so that was for Juan and Lord of Cats. Juan has a totem which is in progress, I would say, not super huge, but his titans are nice. Lord of Cats has totem with only 1 star, but he is a good finisher. Let me show you these 2 fights, how exactly we fought against the bridge. That was probably one of the most serious problems on our way. I decided to suicide my own teams so that other champions wouldn't feel as bad, and so that I would win later on, right? So this time a video is short. I will not show all of our teams, not to spoil the guild war at frontline, but at the same time I just wanted to show you how we managed to go through difficult locations. So I can also show you Black Panter versus Kalabar. This fight was not equal, I clearly understand that. So we have Panter with better totem in stars but worse in levels. At the same time it's a fight fire versus earth, so the power of Kalabar is higher. The idea was pretty simple. Panter needs to use effective fire damage to get bonus damage into the earth. Let's see how it worked. I haven't watched this fight. Actually, she does everything right, so her main task is to remove Angus at first, then proceed and not to suicide into the totem. Let's see how she did it. Okay, so I think that Panter didn't have to do it, but anyway, that was okay, because anyway she needed to remove this totem. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to do the second stun, because her tank was not alive long enough. And here we have another problem for the fire. So when Arachne is thrown into the totem, he suicides. Really often. Obviously that was not super predictable, but anyway she did a nice job, and after her we managed to finish this location without serious problems. Okay, so what about Dragon? Dragon actually attacked the target, which not sure if I offered it, but yes, I offered this target. Why? Let me explain. So I planned that he plays a strong Porus, So Corvus burns Celeste, Corvus burns Hellios, obviously, because they deal a lot of mini hits. The problem was he needs to survive Arachne, not get super stunned, etc. So I planned him to try to remove Hellios or Celeste at least. Unfortunately, that didn't work. You see that his power is less. But anyway, I wanted to try and let's see what happened here. The start looks okay, so here is the totem. And logically, Yasmine is dead because we have Hellios and Corvus, exactly what I planned to happen. Also, Karn lost. Oof. Yes, so that was the location which I planned to remove with actually the combo of Corvus and Hellios. Everything went smoothly. You see that less power, but Dragon did it. What about this one? So what happened here? Here we have again Hellios, Arachne, Celeste, Galahad, and Marsa. So yeah, probably sorry guys. That's the fight with Karn, which I just showed you. Here everything was pretty logical, right? And here is the fight which I planned to show, another one. Both fights make sense. This one is harder because we have Arachne. And also you see that we didn't have enemies Yasmine, that's why he didn't play Hellios. He tried to protect himself with Andvari instead. I can't say that it's wrong because Andvari also protects from pure damage, and the opponent deals some pure damage with Arachne, if I remember correctly. So you see that actually Galahad also can do some pure damage according to his last ability. Maybe I'm wrong, but I heard about that. Yes, I rarely play against Galahad, just taking into account his pure damage because I'm more about physical damage. Okay, so that's what happened. You see that the totem was not enough to remove ROB, but at the same time he removed Karn, which has more power, but Yasmine got burned just at start. What about Vladimir and Dimon? So what happened with these characters? Let's see what happened and what was the reason. Actually, here everything is pretty simple. Vladimir has worse totem than the opponent, but still this attack was planned because I wanted him to use effective element, and that worked, but actually I knew that I might have problems with finishing the stack, and we had the finishers for that. So that's the fight. Obviously this one is close, we need just to hit something there. Dimon versus Hellcat, what happened here? Let's see. So that's a team with Yasmine, Celeste, Maya, so I planned him to burn the enemy Yasmine. He has everything for that, with a nice Hellios, right? And as a result, let's see what went wrong. So probably he couldn't finish the opponent, he couldn't finish Maya. And I assume that, well, he just didn't have enough damage. Yeah, so Yasmine is dead, just as I expected. Can he kill her second time? Easily. So where did he get stuck? Probably he got stuck at this trio, so we have a lot of healing from this team. At the same time, Dimon uses a combo which buffs himself, so I mean Hellios plus Orion. We have magic penetration, we have nice magic attack buff from Celeste, so this team can deal a nice amount of damage. So what was his problem? I'm not sure exactly, but I assume that he couldn't just finish this team. Someone survived. I'm not sure who exactly. And yes, so it was really close, but as a result he failed to finish Celeste that time. Now, not sure if he can do it. So eventually he did it. And the second fight would be pretty easy, but just need more damage. So anyway, Dimon, although he failed because he didn't fight with Super Maya team, his Maya is still not super hard, but anyway, she did a nice job here, right? What about next fights, which I wanted to show you? So the next fights were not super hard, mostly. I'm not going to show you every single team, obviously, because we'll have some more fights in the future. Also, we had a fight where actually, originally I planned to use Pierre there, but we just needed to place some commands, and Highlander tried Termite on Hellcat. The idea is pretty nice, but the totem is not even close, and at the same time the power is too different. That's why Termit did something, but that was not super effective. So that's what we managed to do. Actually, we didn't capture 3 front locations, and we didn't capture, if I remember correctly, the foundry. So all other locations look, no, sorry, not foundry, but one bastion. One bastion, yes, so one bastion and 3 front locations. Other locations were captured, including Citadel. So that's how the fight went. Hope you enjoyed my information. Probably I'll make another video about TT Twister because we don't have any videos about playing with this guild, and I think they deserve attention. Of course, if they don't mind making a video about them. So I dreamt about fighting with TT Twister, and I hope we can get them this week. So top 1 guild of our server, and we couldn't fight with them. Now we can do it. So happy Easter again. Thanks for watching. Good luck to you.